I have lost over 100 pounds, reversed prediabetes, and managing PCOS. This is my 100-pound weight loss story. Hey girls, I am doing my weekly hair treatment, hair routine. Today is actually the 4th of July, so I am off today with my husband. I'm doing a self-care day, washing my hair. I just did a full body shower, all the things, just slow morning with Jesus, lots of Bible time, just like a really beautiful morning. But you ladies have been asking pretty consistently, what did the start of my journey look like? Because of course you're seeing me now and when I'm in maintenance and I'm no longer focused on weight loss. I'm just focused on managing PCOS and keeping prediabetes in remission, right? And so I have been overweight my entire life, if I'm being honest. I started overeating as a child, emotional eating to cope with trauma, to cope with fear, to cope with just things that I dealt with in my childhood, and I did not have a healthy framework for how to cope with emotions. I was in a very hostile environment. I lived in a predominantly white, Caucasian upbringing that was not very friendly to me. I dealt with a lot of racism, systemic racism, overt racism, direct racism, just a lot of racism. I was bullied, I was beat up, I was called outside of my name. Use your imagination with that. All of the things. I had death threats. I got notes on my binder between classes of people like hanging me. Yeah. And so I learned at a young age to compartmentalize, to stuff in, and to cope with my feeling of unsafety, of unrest with food, because food was something I found I numbed with. And my mom was a very hardworking mother, full-time career woman to provide for me at this point in my life. And so she would be at work, and so after school I would just go to the kitchen and eat. We used to get Costco food, and like, I remember you know those Costco muffins, like it came in like a variety pack with like poppy seed, blueberry chocolate. Oh my gosh, those were like my jam back in the day. I would eat those, but I would do it in secret because I think I knew I was doing something I shouldn't be doing, but I didn't know why I was eating. I just knew I needed comfort. And I learned at a young age that my coping mechanism with emotional eating was eating until it hurt, because I wanted to feel something while feeling nothing at the same time. And I can articulate this to you as an adult now, but for me, that's like a psychological, emotional abuse pattern, because in my mind, the narrative is I'm not wanted, I'm not loved, nobody likes me. And so I would numb with food because my brain could just go blank, and it tasted delicious, dopamine, satisfaction, all the things. And then I would feel pain. And once I felt pain, that was almost like a weird punishment, because I was like, you shouldn't be doing this. So this is like your punishment for just sitting here eating. And again, my child brain did not know, but I'm telling you as an adult, after many years of like therapy, that's what was happening. And so fast forward, I am an overweight child. I'm an overweight teenager. I'm an overweight high schooler. Mind you, I was in athletics. I was a competitive cheerleader at this time, but I was a base. I was the bottom girl, and I was referred to as such. And I remember one time in cheerleading practice, we were getting fitted for uniforms, and the coaches like pulled me aside being like, well, you're the biggest. And they made it seem like it was a problem. Like my pant size was a problem. My skirt size was a problem. I think I was a size 12 at the time. And no one knew what was happening at home. No one knew that the reason I was bigger than everyone else was because I was in a state of survival 24/7 for the perceived entirety existence of my timeline. And so I felt more shame around my size. I felt more hate towards my body because people treated me like they hated my body. I was teased for my weight, for my looks, for my face, everything. You know, typical things you're teased for as a Black woman when you live in a predominantly white environment. And this is not, and I'm not saying like, I wish I could change some things, but I also don't, because my upbringing gave me a great opportunity for elevated education, literacy, upskilling. I was in a very competitive school. There's reasons why I was in that type of education system. So it's not a bad reflection on any decisions that, you know, my mom made at the time to put me in that education system. She put me there, and she also put me in competitive cheerleading so I could learn grit, skill, discipline, commitment. Like, although I was suffering emotionally, I also had joy in the midst of it because I learned who I was. I was resilient. I learned how to be a team player. But anyway, I'm trying to give context as to how I became obese at such a young age. And obese according to a doctor that I went to, I think when I was 18, which is what was the pivot and the turning point in my life. So they told me I was obese when I got like blood work done or something. And she told me in a way that was very like matter of fact, black or white, death. It was like, if you don't figure this out, you're going to go down a path of being unwell and getting diabetes. And she scared the living daylights out of me. It scared me. Her delivery was not soft, was not gentle, was not appropriate for someone my age, but we're here now. Oh my gosh, I need to go check on my cod. I'm making lunch. I'm making roasted veg and cod, and I smell it, and I don't think I should be smelling it as intense. So let's break. The timer just went off. I'll be right back. BRB. Lunch was divine, so good. I had baked cod, like smoked baked cod with black garlic, avocado, roasted broccoli, and then I wrapped it with seaweed chips. So good, like little mini sushi rolls. Divine. If you want a recipe, let me know. Okay, I think we might do a 2-part series because I think it's really important to understand the context and background of someone and like the architecture in terms of how they work, why they do certain things, because people have I don't know if I want to like call you ladies angels, because like you guys are angels, you're so sweet, or besties or sisters. I don't know, what name do you all resonate with? Okay, I really want to know because it matters. But you angels have been asking me, like, what's your mindset? How did you lock in? How did you not waver when things got hard, etc.? And I think context is important here because everyone's triggers, justifications, path to getting there is going to vary so much, right? Depending on your motivators. For me, I never want to go back to where I came from mentally because those were the darkest years of my life. I did not love myself. I despised myself, and it wasn't my fault. But the environment I was in led me to believe that. So in my mind, that narrative made sense for me at that point in time. Okay, that's the background. Emotional eating, if I were to summarize that entire clip, emotional eating is what got me to being obese. Emotional eating is where I found safety. I found comfort with food. Even now, a decade and a half later, after all of that, almost 20 years later, I still inherently want to cope with food. Hear me. Even right now, after losing over 100 pounds, after making lifestyle changes for years, I'm not new to this now, I still every day have to fight coping with food. Every day. That's my truth. And it's at nighttime. I'm fine the entire day. Nighttime is when, honestly, that's when it gets hard for me because that's when I would come home from school. So I have this habitual behavioral pattern, this learned pattern and behavior that people say, oh, it takes 21 days to break a pattern. No. If you have emotional trauma layered on top of that, girl. So obviously I don't give in to those emotional desires. I acknowledge them. I'm very self-aware, and I have created and built a lifestyle to help mitigate me acting upon those desires. And I'm not saying I want to emotionally eat because I'm having things are hard. Not at all. It's this behavioral thing. At night I seek comfort, and it's from life, like life stressors, right? Things that happen, the world, the condition of the world, my broken heart over the state and the condition of humankind. Okay, those are the things that cause me to want to emotionally eat at night and cope. So that's the context, that's the history. And I made the decision to lose weight very seriously. How old was I? It was right as I was moving out of my mother's home. I think I was in my early 20s. Yep. I had a really awful breakup at the time. Actually, it was like the most empowering breakup of my life because I was like, at that time, I was with someone that didn't understand or support my weight loss because they were insecure. They wanted me to stay overweight. They wanted me to stay comfortable for them. And I woke up one day and I was like, I'm going to go to college. I'm going to get my degree. I want to be a technology person. And by the way, I'm getting this weight off of my body because I'm sick of it. It's making me sick. And I had a lot of issues at that time. I was on birth control, which I believe was the onset of PCOS. I promise you, birth control. Okay, don't take that literally. I'm not promising you. I'm saying my own opinion. I think birth control contributes to dysregulated, dysfunctional endocrine system, period. That's my opinion. Argue with yourself over that. I'm not gonna argue with people in the comments, but PCOS is an epidemic of women. Run the stats yourself. It's an epidemic of women, and it's very sad. And I unfortunately am in that statistic because I took birth control. I didn't even have a reason to. I think at the time I was sold the lie that it would have helped me with my weight issues. They sold it to me because they said it would help me with weight management. And my gosh, I wish I could speak to my teenage self at the time. But where are we? So in my 20s, I decided I wanted to lose weight to feel better. I wanted to up-level my life. I wanted to get a degree because at that time I was convinced I was not going to go to college. I wanted to be a beautician. I wanted to do makeup and be a creative. I had a YouTube channel at the time. Lashes anyone? Girl, I wanted to be like a YouTube girly. And then I had a reality check one day and I was like, I'm gonna apply to Arizona State University. I got in. Oh, it was such an amazing feeling. And that's where my life changed. That's where my life changed. So I got into college And people ask me, like, did I count calories? What was my workout routine? All the things. So let me know if you want a part 2 on exactly what I did day to day. But to get started, if you are already significantly overweight, you do not have to do a lot. Let me take that back. I redact that. If you are in relatively good health, good markers, good metrics, good blood work, no glaring issues, you know, like if you don't have things going on and you are obese and overweight, most people that start with a lot to lose don't have to do much to see initial rapid weight loss. From my own experience, I'm gonna keep saying that, okay? I'm not running stats right now. I don't have my data up in front of me because I'm clearly doing my hair, but that's what I want to preface with. I had lost 65 pounds in my first year of trying but not trying. And all I did to lose that first 65 pounds was I stopped eating sugar. I stopped eating junk food, anything processed. I went extreme clean eating, and I didn't even know what that meant. I was just doing it. And at the time I was like watching, remember Shaun T from Insanity? I found like his eating plan on Beachbody or some blog girl, and she showed me what she ate, and I remember it was just clean, like lots of nuts, cheese, lean proteins, vegetables. She always made like protein oatmeal, protein pancakes. So I started researching my own recipes. I started eating clean. I will, again, let me know if you want a part 2, but I think I will try to document what I ate, because I remember I was very structured because I was so driven. Once I decided that I was going to lose the weight, I basically did a meal plan. I didn't know about calories. I didn't know what calories meant. I just did a meal plan based off of what I think like some of the Shaun T people were eating on their fitness blogs. It was like a green smoothie in the morning before a workout, sausage and eggs. I remember I ate a lot of sausages from Trader Joe's because I was a college student and broke. So I remember I'd have the same chicken sausage every day with 2 boiled eggs before class. And then I snacked on like nuts and cheese and berries. Yeah, I'm gonna have to think about that. I'm gonna have to jog my memory on what the heck I ate. But I know that I had trail mix, but like healthy trail mix. I loved how I ate back then. Honestly, I need to figure out if I can like activate my old blog. It was an actual website. I gotta go find it because I had such good food. My recipe blog she was a babe. Okay, I really loved her. I'm thirsty. Doing my hair makes me sweat. I'm thirsty. By the way, I'm sipping on ginger, hibiscus, and peppermint tea, a little mineral elixir for the gut. I think it would be better for a part 2. You ladies have to leave your comments to let me know, what do you want me to talk about specifically? I'm giving you context in the history of how I got to be overweight, to give background, but do you want to know how long it took me? Because that's a whole story in itself. It took me multiple iterations of trying. Again, I was very blessed. I lost the first 65 pounds within under a year, and it just fell off. Literally, I was not trying. It was just flowing once my body realized I was no longer. And I used to order, just if you're wondering, when I was with that ex, we were comfort emotional eaters together because he had his own junk. And this is like 20-year-old Ash, like 23-year-old Ash. I was not mature. I did not know the Lord. Okay, like, girl, he was a mess. Oof, God bless. Literally, thank you, Lord, for pulling me out of that mess. But we would order Domino's stuffed crust pizza, large blizzards. Not like, we ate like we hated ourselves. And that's how we dated each other. We would just eat and watch movies and eat and drink alcohol and, you know, typical shenanigans of emotionally unhealed young college kids. But I tell you, when you go from a lifestyle of eating like that to overnight all of a sudden drinking protein shakes and green smoothies, and I was not exercising. I did not exercise to lose my first 65 pounds. Hear me again. I did not exercise to lose my first 65 pounds. And I also think people are looking for some secret tip. At the time, I did not have to track calories because my body was already had so much to give. Weight was just willingly ready to jump off of me. So I did not track calories at that point in my weight loss journey. I just implemented the food changes, and that got me 65 pounds down. Now, the remainder weight, I had to work for that. I had to work for that remainder weight. And in that journey, so I lost my first 65. I feel like this isn't a cohesive chronological storyline because I'm unlocking old memories. So if you guys need me to like repeat certain things, please tell me. I will do it for you girls. Between you and I am considering ordering a vlogging camera. This is my old vlogging camera from back in the day. This is like a 15-year-old camera. If you like long form content for me, I will invest in you so that I can deliver more long form. I refuse to film long form on my phone ever again. It's highly stressful. It's highly chaotic because I'm shifting between vertical and horizontal for TikTok, and it's so stressful. But let me know if you will watch my long form content. I will invest in that equipment to do more videos like this because I honestly am not a lover of short form content. It's like microwave brain, and most of you will be like, Ash, that was too fast. Ash, I need more. Ash, where's the recipe? Girl, I know. Girl, I know. Me too, sis. But guess what? That's the platform we're on. That's all I keep, like, it's the platform. It's the constraints of the platform. Anywho, so if we're about to be a long form content tribe, I need you to like this video and support me to show me that it's worth the investment because cameras are insanely expensive, and I will do that. Now, I say that because I'm actually going on a business trip to New York, and I think it'd be so fun to vlog my trip and to show you how do I eat while maintaining my weight loss, while managing PCOS, because there's a whole thing. When you travel, girl, and the food is out of your control, you need to have certain methodologies to be in control. So I'd love to show you. I have it down to a T because I travel so much for business and I go to conferences all the time. I would love, it's probably going to be comical and you all are going to think I'm insane. But if you want to see that, I need you to comment as well. So I think this is just going to be like the history of how I got to where I'm at, because I'm almost done with this hair. And I did answer the question, how did I eat? I ate clean. That's very subjective. So I don't know how to articulate that until I figure out what, like my old meal plan. I'll have to really jog my memory and go find if I can activate that old blog to get those recipes back. But I ate clean, girl. Hydrated, I ate clean, and I did not exercise. And I stopped eating at restaurants. I actually think I got a little bit orthorexic at one point. And I use that term lightly because I think it's a very fine line between being disciplined and being afraid of food. Once I saw that my body was reacting well to clean eating, I actually became afraid of eating out at restaurants at one point. And it took me a few years to outlearn those behaviors. Unfortunately, those things can happen when you're on such an aggressive like weight loss journey. And I was so determined to get the weight off that I got a little obsessive, in full transparency. And I can talk to you ladies now, how do I eat when I go out? Because I still have to be cognizant of how I eat when I go out. And praise the Lord, my husband is so sweet and will share things that I want with me, but that's a whole thing. So if you also want a video on how to eat out while at restaurants and traveling and how to eat healthy but still enjoy yourself and not feel restricted, you gotta let me know too. I don't even know if this was helpful. Was this helpful? Or was this just like a weird form of therapy for me to unpack 20 years of emotional eating and trauma? I'm actually sharing this because I know I'm not the only one. I know I'm not the only Black woman that has been made to think she is less than or needs to make herself smaller. I also want to highlight that, and most people won't talk about this, I would have never, I'm going to say it again, I would have not lost the weight unless I asked God to help me. Because I did not have the willpower, the discipline, or the mindset. I remember when I was super overweight, this was before I started my meal plan. I tried running a mile one night and I almost passed out because I was so heavy and it was hot and I could barely walk that mile. And I was at like a quarter of a mile and I cried out to God and I was like, God, please help me finish these next 10 steps. God, please help me finish these next 20 steps. God, please help me make it up this hill. And I started crying and I cried out to the Lord and I was like, God, please heal me. Please guide me. I was like, Lord, if you help me finish this mile, I will lose the weight. If you help me finish this mile, I will start loving myself. If you help me finish this mile, I will stop treating myself so badly. If you help me finish this mile, I will stop making excuses. If you help me finish this mile, and I think I said, I'll believe in you. I said something like, I was never test the Lord, okay, period. But at that time, I was like, if you help me finish this mile, I will know you're real and that you love me. Because I was so desperate. Again, I didn't really know the Lord at this point, so I was talking crazy to Jesus. Thank God he forgives. But he helped me finish that mile, and I remember crying. I think I fell to my knees crying in my neighborhood. I was just crying, and I was so proud of myself for being able to finish a mile. Yeah. And then that's where it all started. I looked up meal plans, I think that night or the next day, and that's how I found those fitness blogs. And I think after I lost my first 30 pounds, I started trying to jog in my neighborhood. And that's when I started getting into like races and half marathons. So I did complement my weight loss routine with running at some point. And this was before I was impaired. Okay, this was before I had prediabetes. This was before I think I had PCOS, but who knows? I didn't get formally diagnosed with PCOS until I think like my late 20s. Yeah, I think I was like 28 or 29. After some traumatic breakups, I went and got my annual PAP, and that's when I found out I had it. So I'm telling you this for context. I did implement exercise at some point, but not at the beginning. Okay, this is cute. This is cute. She's got some bounce. Cute. Cute, cute, cute. I'm gonna take a little thumbnail with this. Ready to do I'm gonna try not to edit this. Let's do our thumbnail. Wait, this is cringy. What do people do in thumbnails? I'm so new to YouTube, like long form. This cute. I should have like my weight loss title right here. So I'm gonna stand over here. That was so cringy, girl. I feel like I said a lot without saying not much at all. What do I even title this video? How I became overweight. My weight loss journey part 1. Maybe that. Now, it's on you ladies to tell me, what do you want me to answer? What do you want me to speak about in part 2 specifically? Tell me and we will figure this out together because I want to help you the best that I can. I think what's also hard for me is I'm not focused on weight loss anymore. I just preface with that's what I overcame to give people hope that they can as well if they're navigating prediabetes, PCOS, hormonal imbalance, insulin resistance, all the things, blood sugar dysregulation, to show that you can. But it's no longer a focus. So for me to jog my memory this deeply to talk about my weight loss journey is a little bit, it's like thrashing my mind. So please give me grace if I come out like I am all over the place. It's because my brain is jogging memory. Okay, we're striding backwards and that's okay. I'm happy to do it to help you ladies. I don't mind because I love you girls. You angels, you besties. And that's my cue to stop talking. In typical YouTube closeout fashion, like this video if you found value. Comment what you want to see in part 2. And share with someone because I would love to grow this into something so big to help more women the way I wish someone would have helped me. Do I cut that? I'm trying not to cry. I'm taking these things off my eyes now. Oh, it's okay. Because we're here now. And God heals, God delivers, God heals, God delivers. Hey, God heals, God delivers. Hey, hey, Yahweh. Hey, Yahweh. Hey, 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 Yahweh. Hey, Yahweh. Okay. Thank you, Jesus. All right. That's enough. I love you. Bye.